What's up, squad?
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. Just good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, just good. Well, we're missing one of our squad members, but she'll be back soon. She's working. Janine, you know you miss girl. So we'll get our critique. We'll get our critique after after these last two shows to see how we did in her eyes. So what's going on, Dr. Collins?
Hey, it's all goody on this coming Friday, which is Good Friday. I'll be having a Gooder Friday because I'll be celebrating my wedding anniversary. Do you know what Friday is?
It's your
That's
anniversary.
one of my favorite songs. It's one of my favorite songs.
We're going ding.
Why is somebody trying to get us canceled? That's what I'm trying to figure
I
out.
don't know what's wrong with Zondra.
Man,
I just asked a
I'm not
question.
ready for that. You said
I just asked a question.
Pastor Arce, how was your week?
phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Anything you want to share?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm positive I want to not going to share it.
And the beautiful Colette Arce, Rick's wife, is back with us. Welcome, Colette. Welcome, girl. We loved you last week. Bring you back this week. And I'm glad. So we got to tackle this testosterone where you guys, I don't want to say it's the men against the women, but some of these questions, some of the answers last week were kind of biased towards men. So we're going to kind of even it out. I know, right, Gary?
Hey, Gary.
Squad.
Well, I just want to chime in and tell Rick he did have something to say. Our anniversary's coming up too, the week after yours.
That's like
really wasn't gonna say nothing.
What you say?
He had something to say.
27 years. It's coming in a couple of weeks, though. That's not now.
27 years.
Man, you've been dealing with him for 20 years.
Oh my God.
So Rick, I gotta ask you a question.
To me, that's the Guinness Book of World Records.
I gotta ask Rick a question now.
I'm gonna sit down with
Did I do what
Do you know what week after next is?
No, don't sing it. Yes, I do.
I can't wait till the 30th. He's gonna have a big surprise on the 30th.
Oh Lord. I'm leaving it alone.
We're gonna go on an amazing trip.
Oh wow.
Do tell
Y'all sit me
more.
in the back line. It'll be photobombing.
Let's not. Let's leave it.
All right, guys. So, guys, this is part 3. We're wrapping it up with questions that we are supposed to ask that many of us, and I know I didn't, ask before we got married. I'm just being honest. I didn't ask.
I wish I had all this help they got.
Yes, because if I did, I wouldn't have got married. But anyway.
Wow.
So, and I'm not blaming. I'm saying for me because he may have been like, I ain't marrying her because she is not submissive, or all the other things that I had to learn through my brothers. I had to learn that through my brothers. I'm very submissive, and I listen to them, and I'm going to be an amazing wife once I get married.
And you know, lives go to hell too, right?
Excuse me.
That is wrong. That is wrong. Okay, question number 1 or continuation.
A continuation of questions. Right, so we're ready now. We're going into this. Okay.
What's the question?
Oh, all right.
Okay. Are you adopted? Do you know your biological family? If not, do you have a desire to find them? Wow, that's good. That's good. I know, Pastor Jose, you could just have your little.
Okay, I mean, here's one thing. Listen, I don't have a problem with you seeking this information.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that's the way you ask it.
Well, no, we're just giving it plain, and then people.
No. This is how you would ask it. This is how you would ask it. I think it's, hey, so what about your family? With your both parents in the home? See, there are ways we can get around to that. Yeah. Without, hey, so let me ask you a question. Are you adopted? Like, I think that's a bit.
I wouldn't ask like that.
Yes, you would. You would. Don't lie.
You have taught me not to ask like that, Pastor. Be fair.
That don't mean you listen. I see the way you worded this question. That tells me all I need to know. I think that
Yeah,
if you want to know the information, so I'm not against receiving that knowledge. I just want you to be a little bit more tactful, because I think if you're talking to them about their family, that leads you into getting that information if you're a little wise about it.
It's a bit direct. No, it's a bit direct. I agree. And like you said, that's what the whole courting process is, to get to know each other. So I think in getting to know each other, like you said, you'll say, tell me about your family, and hopefully they're honest. There may be some parts of their, background I don't want to go into with you right away, especially if it's painful,
right?
But I think, like you said, that courting period is to get to know the person and find out what their family background is. So I do think it's important because, like you said, that, Pastor Rick always likes to use the saying that our family is the gymnastics, the gymnasium to life. I mean, those are the first relationships we have. So if we can't get it right with them,
I love it.
9 times out of 10, we're not going to be able to get it right with, people who are not our family. Because they teach us how to love. They teach us how to form relationships, so that background, that family background is important.
That's right. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer just shaking the tree. Yeah, just shaking the tree and see what's going on. What's the background? What happened? Why were you left? At the doorstep of the fire department. All that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
So, but if they don't want to answer you, I guess you just base if it's something you want to go for. Because sometimes people they just don't want to talk about that kind of stuff.
Well, let's realize something, Zondra. This segment is about before you say I do. Mm-hmm. You may not get all these answers on a first or second date.
Right.
But we're saying if you're marrying someone without these answers, you're setting yourself up for a world of surprises.
Sure.
That's the key. So you may not get all of this right off the bat, but before you get to an altar, you should know this stuff.
Yeah. And a lot of this can come out in counseling, even if you don't do it during the courting process. That's why counseling is good, because a lot more usually will come.
Now, I have a question. This is for you guys that do the counseling, which is all of you guys. How much do people really tell it all? Not at all, but I don't know if enough is the right word before they get married. Like, is it such a small percentage of people who are really honest before they get married?
I think with counseling, because there's a third person there, I think they're more open than they would if it's just them two talking. For some reason, I feel like they do share more.
Okay.
And then what Pastor Rick and I will do is, like, towards the end of the counseling, I'll meet with the wife and he'll meet with the future husband. Exactly. And even more will come out because the husband may not be comfortable opening up with certain things in front of his fiance. So we do that as well.
Although they say they want to be open and so forth, and no one is ever 100% open. They always say that, we know everything about each other. You don't.
Right.
You don't. And the truth of the matter is, I know this sounds weird to a lot of people. I think you have to be careful all that you share.
Okay, break that down. What do you mean?
Because there may be some personal stuff that you may not, as a man, you don't want to look as vulnerable to the wife or to your future wife.
So you wouldn't tell her at all?
No, not so much you don't tell her. My thing is, go ahead.
Probably depends what it is. And I get it. Like I said, sometimes a man just needs a man's point of view.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
It could be molestation.
Right.
It could be molestation.
Right.
Where the wife, he doesn't know how the wife is going to react yet, or his future wife. Because it could, to her or to him, it may, she was going to think I'm soft or what happened.
Right.
Yeah, and especially if it was by another man.
There you go.
That's when he'll probably feel even more vulnerable and afraid to share that information, because I don't want her to think that I got gay tendencies.
Right.
I mean, this is what goes on in the mind.
Yeah. And not to say you should hold it. I'm just saying that
just tell you what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is this then. So, and I understand what you guys are saying. So something that's molestation. So you said your future wife or wife. So are you saying they definitely should tell their wife that before they get married?
He didn't say either one. He was telling you that some things don't come out and he was using it as an example
Right.
of
But I'm
something that
asking
may
you your
not come
opinion.
out before.
But I'm asking you your opinion. Is that something they definitely should tell their wife?
Okay, from my opinion, here's the thing. If different shows, different folks, let me start there.
Mhm.
But in my opinion, if I can't, I'm talking about marriage. I'm finna marry you.
Right.
What I'm able to trust you with says a lot about how safe I truly feel with you. See, if a man doesn't feel safe enough
Right.
to share certain things, then he's not going to. But then you can argue the question, then should he be marrying her yet? And
Right.
that's a valid question
Right.
that we get into. But and that goes both ways. There are some women
Right.
that haven't told their husbands about certain things that happen to
Right.
them as well.
Right.
So this is a two-way street. But
Right.
it's all about that level of comfortability and feeling safe enough in that space to be that vulnerable. And a
Right.
lot of people, they ain't never went through it with a therapist. There are people that ain't never told nobody certain things.
Mhm.
Right. I
So
understand
we're
that.
dealing with a deeper issue here. Some people need to talk to their therapist before they talk to their future husband or wife.
Right. Right. So the argument is that that's something they probably should, if they're not comfortable sharing. The reason why I bring this up is I have and have talked to women that have been molested, and it's affected them psychologically in the bedroom.
Sure.
Your man don't know it.
Yep.
And so he's now
Right.
marrying her, and it's all these freaking issues going on. He didn't know about it.
You're right.
And she's not sharing. So I'm like, you, and then the woman, we just need to pray about it in the Lord. And you should understand, to the husband, right? You should understand that I just don't feel like it today. And he's not knowing the real reason why she's.
Sure.
So that's it's
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
And that happens. I deal with
know
that.
it, like I know.
I deal with that. Like, and that's the reason. Okay, I'll use me for an example. This is why I'm just speaking me. I gotta know everything.
Now you said yelled at me when I said
I gotta know everything.
It's per person. You don't know.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the reason I have to know everything was to your point. And see, here's the problem. Sometimes they've shared with people in the past and it went left.
Yeah.
And so they never shared anything. I can handle it.
So you said
I'm a safe place, but I have to prove myself to be that safe place. See, certain people have never gave a person the reason to feel safe with them.
Sure.
See, we get to different issues. The issue is not just on you should tell it. The issue is also on you should make me feel safe enough to share it too. See, you can't just put that onus on one of them, because if the other one is still biting your head off over something little that happened, you kissed the boy in the 5th grade and they still throwing that up in your face. You think you're gonna tell them what happened to you? Like, so it goes both ways. It's not that easy of a just do it. But it still goes to whether we should.
And I think sometimes too,
Go ahead, Cole.
the longer you're married, like you said, there may not be stuff that you've told, but I think, like you said, it might start coming up in the marriage. Yeah. And the longer you're with somebody, I do think the trust starts to build even more, even though you talk about a lot before you get married. I think because of the things you go through, loss, grief, whatever, you start to feel even closer as time goes on to that person, where you could trust them with that information. You're right. You may not feel comfortable initially, but I think if it's causing, like you said, a problem in the bedroom or a problem, between in your marriage, then I think it's something to be talked about, whether you have to go to a therapist together where you feel comfortable opening up, where you have a third party there. So, they can kind of help you navigate through that. But I agree. I mean, I want to know as much as possible, but if you're not comfortable, I'm not going to force you, get on, I want you to tell me as you feel comfortable. But it is best to know as much, like you said, as possible going in, because nobody likes surprises, but like I said, I go back to even with Rick, with his dad, I knew his dad was in his life for part of the way. I didn't know how it had affected him. And so that was something different. It's like, okay, I knew you weren't really raised with your dad and you kind of had a semi-relationship with him, but it wasn't until we were well into our marriage that, and he may not even know.
That
Right.
part.
Right. Now
That part.
that part I get.
Affected him.
That
And so
part I
something
get.
doesn't come up till later.
Right. Some stuff we just don't know because we're growing, we're whatever. But there's some things I know. It's like it's so unfair. Then we're sitting up in counseling all day about something you knew before you got married.
And you
You
never, but your ignorance, you didn't know it would lead you to this because you were ignorant. See, the problem with
No,
ignorance
what
is
I'm
you
saying,
don't know
Pastor,
what
is
you
if
don't
it
know.
comes up and you're lying to me. This is where premarital counseling comes in at.
And
So
they
if I'm-
don't see it as they're lying to you. They're saying, no, that's just something I didn't share. I didn't lie. I just didn't share with you what my uncle did to me when I was 7.
Sure.
you knew it was affecting you in the bedroom.
No, they didn't.
No,
They don't necessarily know that. They don't always piece this together that this is why.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the
In
trauma.
some cases.
All right. Question
Okay.
number 2.
Number 2.
Any hereditary illnesses in your family? Now, this is good because isn't there, they used to do blood tests. They don't do that anymore here. I know in Ohio. They do it in Cali?
No, I don't think anywhere does it. I don't think anymore.
They kind of, I know Michigan was doing it up until like 20 years ago.
Well, 27 years ago, almost a little over. 27 years ago. I remember when I was getting an HIV test. Now that was like mandatory before you got at one time, and then they stopped it. I'll never forget.
Before you got married, you had to have an HIV test?
Oh yeah. I had to. I was making sure.
Really?
Oh
yeah. Jose, I wasn't
good.
playing.
I think we just.
I guess that went with the STD test. I'm like, you get everything.
Yeah, I think we just did it prior to, just because that's what we wanted to do. Just make sure we.
I used to know. Now they would have changed your mind.
You be having that test before you start having sex. Just
Jose, this is back in the day when you had to
like 3 days. I think it was
3 days.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Let me tell you something.
I forgot about that. 3 days.
The longest 3 days. Don't like the 3 days Jesus was in the grave. Just
sir.
I forgot all about that.
And you had to wait, and they give you that call, and I was like,
You're nervous.
Is this Mr. Arce? Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You're so humble before the Lord. Like, I just want to let you know you tested negative. Negative.
They had to come in.
They called you. You didn't get a letter in the mail.
No, you had to go back.
When you didn't get an email.
They gave you a letter too. I thought.
Later.
I didn't get a letter. I had to go in.
They gave you a letter too.
Yeah, no, they called you, and I'm like, I think they have you come in if it's bad news. But I was just like excited.
That's why I was scared. I'm like, how come they ain't just call? Because that's how it is.
That's why you had to go in. She just said,
let me put that on. I was negative. Now you throwing that out. Over here. But we did have to go in.
I think you definitely need to know this, but I guess my thing is the same way. See, we're talking about a person being open and honest, and we talked about how the safer they feel with you, the more open they become.
Yeah.
And I want for our listening audience, you can't have this list of questions that you're going through like it's an interrogation. You're expecting full transparency. You're not gonna get it because I don't feel safe with you just going through like you drilling me. Like I'm not finna talk to you.
Right.
Like, so that it still comes with knowing how to communicate. I think everybody in relationships should focus on developing better communication skills. That's a subject that you would need and would bless you for the rest of your life. So while you're talking, what's wrong with your grandmother? Where did she pass from? Oh my God. Did anybody else in your family have your great grandmother too? Oh my God. See how I just found out that was hereditary? And you don't even know I was
right.
Well, Pastor, how you do questions as well? You'll say, well, let me go. Well, wait a minute, let me talk about your mama. How was your mom? You'll keep going too.
No,
yes, you will.
No,
yes, you will.
No, I only talk like that to you.
It's only you, Z. Understand, a lot of the stuff that we talk about to you, it's you.
Y'all abuse me. So
it's
y'all just abuse me. Whatever.
Lord,
all right. I get it. I agree.
So
The reason why it's hereditary, there is a disease that you can get that can I forget what it is, Tetra syndrome or something that I think both the father and the mother has to have that can pass it on to the kid that can be very painful, and I forget what it is. It's something hereditary though. That's why they used to do the blood tests. I can't remember the name of that disease.
Yeah, but in retrospect, it's important to understand what you're dealing with. There's some people that have something hereditary that is passed down for whatever reason.
Right. Dementia is another.
It's up to the person, to share, to disclose that whenever. And number two, is this something you want to deal with? That's fair. And, as I mentioned on last week, my cousin, when he got married, not that it was hereditary, but his wife, he found out she was HIV positive, and he handled it like a champ.
Yes. So what's your commitment to that relationship, for better, for worse?
Right.
I mean, what does that really mean to you?
Come on now.
Because there may be some things that you, like you said, don't know. And so you're going to walk away.
Right.
Because what were you in it for, really?
Right.
So you got, you got to weigh that out.
All right, number three.
Do you have a will or an estate plan? Do you have an insurance policy?
Lord Jesus.
Zondra don't pull no punches. She walk into dates with this list, y'all. She said, hold on. So how is it? As soon as they make the order, okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, let's get started.
Don't you need to know
that should be after? I think that should be engagement, not even dating question. Like, we about to go to the altar because somebody might think you about trying to take them out or something. Yeah, no, you better wait on that.
Right.
How much is your insurance policy? Who's your beneficiary?
You better wait.
God, don't have
the engagement. You got the ring on. And then, okay, let's talk about policy. Whatever.
Hey, we need to talk. We're gonna talk about this at the wedding rehearsal.
Oh yeah.
And find out you got insurance on me. Yeah, I do. It's on
right. We going to Timbuktu on the honeymoon.
Yeah,
you don't need no life jacket.
Right.
And this happened. Y'all have heard those stories when people go on their honeymoon and one person come back and the other don't.
They wake up dead.
On the doggone honeymoon. Yes. That's
why you need to do your research and your background check.
No, wow.
I'm sure they don't have no other missing wives.
Here, sign this. $1 million, babe. $1 million. But yeah, I totally agree. It's important. Okay, 4. Have you been sexually assaulted? We talked about that one a little bit. I think it's very important. So many people have been.
How do you ask it?
And most people are not going to open up about that.
Yeah, I want to hear Zondra's take. We on a date. Ask me.
Listen, before we got married. I'm not.
Okay, we watching Netflix before we married. Ask me. You gonna show me a movie and be like, did it ever happen to you?
That's not it.
She's gonna show you penitentiary, Jose.
That's not it. That's not the way.
Gonna take you 1, 3, 4, 5, 2. She gonna show me. Okay, you gonna pause it. This ever happened to you right there?
No. She gonna be watching the scene and looking at his reactions, seeing if any triggers.
I might do that.
We didn't even look at the movie.
Oh gosh, I might do that. I'll be looking. I'm not gonna do that, y'all. I'll never get married.
Let me tell you this, honey.
Oh my gosh!
The best way,
God,
to get transparency is to give transparency.
Yeah.
Don't ask nobody. Don't expect nobody to show you their wounds when they've never seen your scars.
Right.
I agree.
Like, and the more open you are, and in the flow of a non-judgmental state, the more likely a person is to be safer.
So that happened with Zondra, bro.
I am trans.
So
I'm not transparent. I am very transparent.
No, you are.
Y'all telling them.
That's the point. We said judgmental.
I'm not judgmental.
It's a wrap. Oh my God.
She's learning.
I am not.
Colette, you learned it.
Example, Pastor, I'll give you permission. Give me an example where I've been judgmental.
I've had to talk to you about stop showing the people how you feel about their answers before you ask the question, because you're not going to get under like, and I ain't want to marry a lot of kids. You ain't got no bunch of kids, do you?
Why
did he lie? Because you told him that's the only way he gonna get a date.
I've grown since then. That was a long time ago.
Right here. That's the fifth one right here.
Y'all got me crying. Y'all hurt my
want to have kids.
That is
now that's important, because I've heard a lot of stories of people change.
So how do you feel about kids? Hey, you have any children? See,
I ain't having none. So hopefully
the audience. Listen, I don't care if a person is disqualifying themselves.
Right.
Don't let them know they disqualifying themselves with the answers.
Right. Meaning don't get up in this.
I just love children. You have any children?
No, no.
Yeah, I do. Oh my God, really? I love children. Oh my God, how many you have?
12.
2. Oh my God, that's all 2. Well, actually 5 if you count my first friend. Oh my God! Can you have any pictures? See, the more in your mind, you know, I ain't never going out with you another day in my life. This steak is the end of us. But you gotta know how to ask.
I hear you, but I've done that. I don't ask direct like I used to. I don't even say, and y'all know I don't even say anything. I would just say, "Do you have kids?" and how many.
And how do you look when he say 7?
I keep that same.
It ain't gonna work. You looking like the Joker. It ain't gonna work.
Right.
I don't believe it.
I don't know.
Okay, so what am I supposed to say? How many? I got 12.
Oh wow, that's so exciting! You have any pictures? I love large families.
I don't want to, but that's a lie. I don't love large families. I'm lying to them.
I think large families are so interesting.
I don't think they're interesting either.
I think large families are phenomenal. You have
I don't think they're phenomenal.
Well, what you think they are?
Large families is.
My next question. You think it is? Next question. You think large families is ISIS?
This is the big one.
Yeah, this is a big one.
I don't know if you should ask.
You can't ask that question like that.
And most people aren't going to be honest.
You can't ask questions like that.
Look.
How do you ask it then? How do you ask it?
Okay, here we go.
Go ahead, Jose.
You know, as I'm talking about my life, you know, thing I think I regret the most is agreeing with my ex to have an abortion. You know, that really hurt me. That really something that I probably forever regret. I mean, and even putting her through that. I mean, I don't know if you ever went through that, but it's a horrible thing. And well, you know, actually I have, really. So you know what it's like? Yeah, I did. All I did was show my scars first.
I know, but what if you don't have those scars?
You know, the first thing when I saw my best friend go through, you don't know nobody?
So
you don't know nobody?
No.
You gonna tell me, time out. You gonna sit here on national internet.
I do. But I wouldn't want to put, but I would be putting her business out about.
So they know her. You gonna give her name, her address, or social security number?
No, but what I'm saying, in my particular case, I didn't know till way later.
It doesn't matter. The point you're trying to be so matter of fact, you missing the whole point.
You're just saying try to soften the blow before you ask the question. I don't have to ask the question because I'm sure my husband's not gonna have any abortion.
I didn't say nothing about softening no blow. What I said was, I show my scars before I expect you to show yours. Mm-hmm. And this ain't still a first date thing. This is within the confinement of the relationship. So what I'm saying is, that's not hard for me to show my scars over my regrets, my failures, my this, whatever reason you may have felt slighted or judged or whatever, I exposed myself to be vulnerable to that potential judgment first, which made you feel more comfortable to be upfront and outright about yours. That's all I did.
Yeah, it don't have to be that exact topic. I mean,
exactly.
Even being married prior, that was hurtful to you.
That's
something
what
that was vulnerable for you. So he's just saying, you share a vulnerable moment, they'll be more open or apt to share a vulnerable
I agree with
moment.
that. I agree with that. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to ask him if he had an abortion. I get it. I know the issue is you see the world, Zondra, as you are, not as it is. So I have to learn to, I guess,
learn people.
Everybody is different. So I can't.
Everybody is different from you.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm saying. Everybody is different.
No,
so
it's not different. It's planets. She's here and they over there on another planet, or vice versa. I don't know, but she's not even the same. Probably not even the same galaxy, sir.
And when I say learn people, Zondra, what I mean is you begin to notice how, like I think you do it all the time. Because I hear you say most people are just like this. I'm not like that. So like you've been able to detect differences in other people, right? Sure. It's utilizing that information when you're talking to them. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it
is. Good stuff. Okay.
All right, number 7. You'll like this one, Z.
Oh,
now this one,
didn't we already tackle this one?
Both of them was like, ain't none of your business.
Ain't nobody finna tell you the truth. So that's why I don't even ask that. It's like telling somebody, hey, listen, I want to play. I bet you I can make you lie. No, you can't. Watch this.
But listen to me, Pastor. If I can't tell you the truth, why are we getting married?
And that's a fair question.
That's a fair question.
No, it is. But what goes on is this. This type of stuff comes out in time. Mm-hmm. Because if you're a Christian, then that's something you ask down the line.
We're saying before you got married. So if you don't know, let's say if I'm a woman and you ask me, like, we're coming to partnership, I honestly, I don't even know. That's an honest question, an honest answer. This is my point with this,
y'all. Well, I don't know would be the answer you again.
I don't know, but the point is that you got to be able to trust me as your wife.
Okay.
That's the part. I know we having fun and we laughing.
Well, let me ask you a question. If I tell you 8, what's your next question? Okay, most people, who were they? Right, most people. Most people, the next question is who were they?
Who were they?
Now you want the roster. No, but this is
okay. You helping me. Go ahead.
Most people is who were they?
Yeah.
Now if I go into the roster and we're gonna get with how many times with each, oh my God. See, now this ain't got nothing to do with the marriage no more. Right. See, we done left the confound, and this what happened. And watch this, it gets worse. 5 years later, we married. I go to the class reunion, I bring you 10 years, whatever. Oh my God, hey girl, hey, this is my wife. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Who was that? That was Susie. We dated back in the day. Da-da-da. We went to the junior prom together. Oh, really? Da-da-da-da. That was you? I mean, y'all was cool. I'm like, yeah, girl, this back in high school. You didn't tell me. That wasn't on your roster. You didn't tell me. You didn't name. I know. I still got the list. You named. Now I'm fighting.
See, that's what. Yeah, I get it. My mind.
This is what I'm saying. You're opening a can of worms.
I hear you. I get it. That's where I guess that's where I'm a unicorn. The only thing I care about is somebody is it anyone that I could possibly know
that you know.
That's the only thing I don't care about.
I agree. Okay. I agree. Don't have me around somebody all the time, and I'm the only one in the dark, and everybody else in the room know. I don't want to be in that. Now I agree with you on that, but this is not necessarily that question.
Okay, now I agree with you on that. But my whole point is going back to what we were saying before. Instead of lying about it, you got to be able to trust me. And then you have the right to say exactly what you said when it gets into because the first thing was like, why? I'm just curious, you know, because I'm sleeping with all the people you slept with just because of my own personal beliefs, right? I'm sleeping with all the people you sleeping with, and are we in the hundreds? Are we, you know? So then I kind of know what I'm dealing with spiritually. That's Zondra's thing, though. So he can agree with it or not agree. He may still say no, whatever.
So is it a difference if a man sits there has a higher number nowadays versus a woman having a lower number, or is it okay for a woman to have a higher number or just as high as the man?
What I've been told is that at our age, when you're up in age, my friend was like, if you were sleeping around in your 20s, it's kind of a pass. But if you're still doing it in your 50s, 40 and 50s, then that's an issue. The older you get, it just because some people just lived a wild out life for whatever reason. And to me, at my age, I don't care. I just need to know what I'm dealing with spiritually. And then if it's someone, because if we're in a small town, which I haven't, because Cleveland is smaller than LA. LA would have never come up because it's just a gazillion people there. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if we're in a small town and even it's in the thousands, chances are it's somebody I know, especially if he has a top. So that's why
nobody in Cleveland been with no 1,000 people. Here's my question to you on the whole spiritual thing. You said it's a spiritual thing. So what if I was a sinner? I live this life. I have fully transformed to a devout Christian.
Yeah. Okay.
I have been saved, washed in the blood. I have no more soul ties. I'm walking and living in my ministry. I am fully delivered from my past completely. And everyone that knows me knows this joker is a completely different person. He is a new creature in Christ. For real. Mm-hmm. Now, how does this affect you spiritually?
Does Zondra freeze?
Yeah, did you freeze?
The phone, okay.
Your picture froze.
We can still hear you, though, Z.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. All right, you're moving again.
We can see you.
Hear me.
Can you hear me?
We
Satan is a liar.
She froze again.
I don't think she can hear us.
Can you hear us? And she's gone. Next question.
That was a good point. You were saying, is your past that important because you're a new creature in Christ? So now you're going to hold my past over my head when Christ himself have forgiven me?
I am.
No, but I know what Zondra's finna go. Zondra's finna go to soul ties and spiritual and things you got connected to you. I knew that's where she was going. But I'm like, am I washed from that?
Right.
Or am I still living with these spirits? And like that's what I was finna call her to be accountable to.
No, and that's fair because a lot of people, for me and Cole, that question came up later. It's like, hey, A, B, and C. And we gauge because men, we gauge like, let me see here. That's okay. But, that's what we do because now it's for us in our heads. You can call it what you want, but it's a psyche. It's like it's a competition thing. It's a competition thing.
It's gonna mess with your ego. You're gonna feel that ego.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, okay.
You gotta check the ego.
You want to know there's a number you can handle. Is that what you're trying to say?
But,
not only that, your ego want to know now, is that much more pressure on me in performing? Because you got a lot of point of references. I got to measure.
Oh, boy. Oh, God.
Now you're singing the lyrics to Little Red.
Hey, watch this. And every man ain't up to the challenge.
Yes, sir.
I would have never thought of that. Gosh, really? That's funny.
That's how I've been doing.
That's funny.
Like, okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, Prince said it best. I was going to say Prince said it best when he talked about the jockeys that was there before him in Little Red Corvette. We're like, what?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but there are some things. There are some things that men do, when it comes down to how many partners, they measure it. It's like, yo, can they handle it? It also said something about the woman. It's like, okay, she has multiple partners. Well, in general, you say, well, how many partners you have? In this generation, Hosea, I've heard one young lady, she couldn't be younger than 30, over 200 and some. I said, you must have made some money and been a porno star. I'm not saying it's right.
Hey,
that's a man thing. I don't think that. When I hear you have a lot of partners, I just say, well, you must have been a hoe in your past. Let's just call it what it is.
That's what
I don't look at it as competition, but that's funny that you guys, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah. And another thing you're dealing with when you're saying how the number can be higher, the days and times we living in, they starting way younger than us.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. And then you got to deal with what are you considering sexual partners? Because a lot of them, they start early, long before they even start. Like, I mean, so it's a lot of.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
A lot of variables.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
I missed what you were saying, so I definitely wanted to hear what you were saying.
We're on to the next
about the competition because that was funny.
Okay. All right. I gotta go look at the.
That was hilarious again. That was I would have never thought. They think too many partners, Zondra, mean they got competition. They got to step up their game. That's what they.
For the men.
Every man,
because I said, well, I don't think we think like that.
Oh, women, no. We
just think you just might have been a hoe, and I gotta watch you.
And I gotta watch you.
Right.
Yeah, like that's a lot of people. Look, I don't know. I might have to rethink this relationship, but that's how many people you got in your past.
Right. That's good.
You know, just saying.
This is a good question right here.
I wonder who came up with it.
I wonder.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Now, yeah, I agree. This goes back to trust.
You gotta read the question. Come on.
What if anything is off limits in the bedroom?
Hey, that didn't sound good. I just realized. I said you gotta read the question. Come on, host.
What?
I didn't hear the ST.
Anything is off limits in the bedroom. And you may say nothing is off limits outside of animals and other people.
Animals. I didn't think of that one, but the days we
that's what people say. I'll do anything outside of bringing another person in or animals.
Wow. It's a shame we have to say animals these days.
It's sad.
But this is a question that also needs to be known before you get to the honeymoon. Don't set your honeymoon
before you get married.
What do you think the honeymoon is? It's the night of your marriage. What I'm saying, if you were saving yourself, if you were remaining celibate, you don't need to know this before we get in the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Which is the night of the marriage.
I need to know on the first date. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Lord,
just kidding.
Father.
Lord. Jesus. Yes.
But all I'm saying is this: when it comes to that, sex is a subject that should be discussed before you get married.
I'm surprised people don't. When you guys told me that people are not, I'm just blown away.
People assume.
And this
because they freaky deaky, been watching porn all their life. They assume they partners with the business too.
Right. And on top of that, I think what happens is, and I'm speaking specifically with Christians, that because they vow to wait till they get married.
That would be me.
Again, you're different.
You just said Christians.
Yes, you're a different Christian because you said you would ask on the first date about if anything's off limit in the bedroom.
Pastor,
they don't sound like the one that's waiting to it. They don't really sound like the Christian that's waiting.
No. So, however, what happens is they get into this thing that sex is taboo, so they don't discuss it. Some don't discuss it because it's ungodly. And the fact of the matter is, listen, because not too many virgins that I know get married these days, outside of my brother Gary. That's different. But when two people come together, a lot of times it's okay to discuss it, as long as it's not vulgar. Or let's put it this way: that's not going to lead to the bedroom. It is a way to discuss it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're not talking about in the beginning stages of the relationship. We're talking about the point when y'all came to an agreement that we're getting married.
Right.
Now we need to know that because we don't need it's better for you to be uncomfortable with something and me to know that
Yeah.
versus on our honeymoon. It's our first time having sex, and I'm taking it somewhere in my mind to please you, and you're stopping me, and I'm feeling rejected, and it causes for a horrible first night.
Right.
Yeah, that's so true, Pastor Hosea.
Yeah.
That is so true. I agree. I
Yeah.
totally
That
agree.
it's
And
important to
this is why
understand
I
that.
brought up if the guy is taking a little blue pill, that he needs to let her know. Okay, go ahead.
Tell me why. We're back to that again.
Here we go.
Again.
What you said, just what you said. The
What?
men,
You didn't tell me. You never answered.
with that.
You
This
didn't
is the whole deal. Listen to me. Let me jump on what you said. A lot of men, Cole, they don't feel like that's your business to know if they're taking a little blue pill. As your husband.
Well, you must be talking about older people getting married, because I mean, this is a conversation I would have never even thought of.
The guys.
I
She's
mean,
been bringing this up for years. She's been bringing this up for 3 years now.
I mean,
Because, and let me tell you why.
Longer
Because
than
a
that.
lot of guys, they need that pill to, and it's okay if they need the pill.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what Pastor said is about sometimes with women, if they're spontaneous, and she doesn't know that, she will feel rejected if she tries something in a spontaneous way and he didn't take that blue pill.
Well, yeah, if he's taking it, I do think that that's a conversation that needs to be had. Sure.
That's my whole point.
Okay,
Next.
but this is what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
This
it
is what
goes
I'm
to
saying.
that trust again. Can you
You
trust?
going
that
spontaneous.
connection?
You're going spontaneous.
Yeah.
He, in his ego,
Yep.
is dealing with this psychologically
Right.
because he's been performing all his life.
Yep.
Now something has happened. He's already struggling with this, but he's making sure he can satisfy you.
Yep.
And at the point you get all spontaneous, whatever, whatnot, and he's not up to par in that moment, he wasn't up to par in that moment.
That ain't right. That ain't
No,
right.
wait, time out. Let me educate you on something. You do know this happens. Regard to remove pills out of the equation. You do know every time a woman is in the mood, the man don't just 100% of the time without fail rise to the occasion. Literally, are you aware of that?
You know how long it's been for me, so I wouldn't
That's
know.
why I'm talking to you about this. Are you aware of that?
No. I mean, I
Okay.
know when you're older. I know when you're older, there's issues.
Okay.
But what I'm getting at is that it's okay. We need to talk about,
I
because
do
women
think
have
it-
issues too.
I
Would
think
need to
it-
know
yeah.
that too. Like if I
I
got
think I think a conversation
yes,
needs to be had, because otherwise, you're right. People's head will go other places.
yes,
Like, you ain't attracted to me, but you out there with somebody else.
yes, calm down.
Well, I guess my question is, that happens then when ain't no pills involved.
But my
Hey.
point is that you would then say, Z, babe, it won't
No.
be because he's not taking the blue pill.
But okay, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to see the difference.
Oh no,
Ain't no pill involved.
The difference that I know.
Ain't no pill involved. He
Communication.
didn't rise to the occasion in that moment.
He
He's
makes
been
the baby, I'm tired.
producing.
Right,
He-
baby, I'm
he's-
tired.
He's been producing. He ain't say no, baby, I'm tired. He was ready, just all of him wasn't for whatever reason. So now in that moment, ain't no pills involved. So now you go to feeling dejected and rejected.
Yes, I will.
Wait, don't miss the context. The context of somebody who's been performing consistently all the time.
You're missing my point, Pastor. I hear you.
Well, it depends. Maybe how many times it happens. Maybe. Zondra, you think?
No, this is my thing, Cole.
That's
If
not her.
he knows he needs
The
to
issue
take
is the blue pill with her.
I just
Okay,
need
but
to
no,
know.
I agree, because that's a
No,
whole
that's what I need to
that's
know.
coordination. You gotta have to coordinate.
Okay, Zondra, can I go deeper with this? Can I go deeper?
Look,
Can I go deeper?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Because she asked somebody this and got mad because he won't admit to saying it. I'm like, and I'm trying to get understand. He don't want to tell you that.
But to me, that goes closer to the wedding. The closer, I mean, you got to be serious, almost like the will and the life insurance. Certain things are so personal that you got to really be in it and really be able to trust somebody to have that conversation. That's
I
not
need to know that.
on
I
the
need
first
to know
day.
if you on a pill. I don't. It's not a deal
You
breaker.
gotta-
in the future, listen. Jose, listen, look, let me help you real quick.
Y'all ain't gonna win with
You
that.
All of the future brothers.
If it don't work out, he might think you're gonna put his business out there on the streets.
But if he's marrying me, he will have to. That's what I said. Trust comes in at. I may
that's
want
what
to
I said. You got to be close,
and
to
that's
engagement.
a legitimate thing, Pastor. I may want to be spontaneous with something. He ain't got to the blue pill. If I know he need the blue pill, I'm gonna make sure the blue pills is with me, or we are with us. Or however it works. I don't know how the blue pill works, but however it works, I'm going to make sure I have it with us.
You have a lot to learn.
Look, let me
leave me single then, because
that's engagement, not
courting.
Look,
we got a couple of minutes. Let me make this point real quick, and then we can move on to the other questions. Look, let me help you, Z. Z. We don't need no blue pills over here. We take vitamin D.
Why they say
No.
It's a very.
We take vitamin D. Vitamin D helps. Encourage all your men to take vitamin D.
I don't care if he's like Pastor said.
Go old school and take ginseng.
That's it. Old school ginseng. What is it? Horny goat. Whatever.
It's a sensitive topic for men.
Why is it so sensitive for you men? Oh my
God. It is. Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding me? Vaginal dryness. She'll tell you that.
But they're not gonna just.
You need some lubricant, babe.
A lot of their ego is attached to their performance, so they're not going to just
crazy to me
willingly offer that information. They gotta really trust you.
Boo.
They have to really trust you.
Oh my God, I'm saying it, Cole.
And it's not do that on the first date, please.
No, please not on the first date.
Second, third, fourth, or fifth.
No, before we get married, when we say, I think he wants to marry me and I want to marry him. And I just said, if I'm suffering, because when we're older, there's certain, like you said,
yes, absolutely.
He would need to know if I have issues in that. He would need to know. I couldn't imagine marrying
that's
a man.
When, like I said, when you know you want to be together, then that's when you have that conversation. Like, hey, you good? You know, anything I need to know? I mean, there's a way you can, bring it up without me just saying.
Some women, like one lady, may have had 3 boobs or some things going on. You would need to know certain things that's embarrassing for her that she may need to tell you. I mean,
there is no relativity between that, but I do have
to go. Yes, it is, Pastor, because women are sensitive with their body parts as well. And what I am saying is that certain things women may be uncomfortable sharing, that they will still tell you, because you would need to know that before you see her naked. The same thing with me, men, I guess you don't care then. With women.
All I've said, if this man is taking responsibility of his situation to where you have not been deprived, leave that man alone. If he's not, now if he gets the drop in the ball and this is happening in a routine, but you never will allow you to get to a bridge. You got to cover every base before a problem ever exists, because you got to be preventative.
No, I'm not. Cole gave you a really good example, because my feelings will be hurt. And what
we said it one time. Cole said it continues to be a problem. And I heard that. If it continues to be a problem.
He needs the blue pill, something he knew before we got married. That ain't right. Right.
I got to teach Bible class. I got to teach MIT class. I got to go. Let's whoever is ever go marry Zondra, when the day comes that you need a little help, you better tell them. It ain't enough for you to take care of it. You better tell her.
You are defending the man, Pastor. You can't even see. You really can't see. You really cannot see. You really don't think that woman.
Can I ask you one question? I want to ask just one question. One question. I'm done. I'm through with this. Did your daddy tell your mama? I'm done. I'm done.
They didn't have the blue pill. They didn't have the blue pill then.
Really? You really think this came out yesterday? You that night?
The Viagra pill, isn't that what we're talking about? That just came out.
Whichever one you want. Just came out when? It's going to finish that question. Finish that thing. Just came out when? Girl, if you don't go climb back under that rock you've been under all this time,
Maybe
It
it was
has been
called
out for a
something
while.
else.
20
Maybe it's called
years.
something else.
I over what? 20, 25 years old.
so
Maybe
your
30.
parents ain't had sex in 25 years?
I don't be asking them that. I didn't ask them that.
Rick, can we move on?
I'm gonna go to the last
And I
question.
don't remember seeing
Willie
no
got-
videos
actually,
about it.
Willie
I'm
got
not
3
just
minutes.
saying
Man, I'm through with it. Her daddy was blowing her mama back out on that pill, and she said like this.
I'll bet you any amount of money he don't, because he never went to the doctor, and I know that for a fact because
You would know.
Yes, I would know because the VA hadn't seen him in like 25, 30 years. So I know
You gotta go to no doctor to get no Viagra no more in these days.
Go
Can
to
we
the
move
next.
on? Can we move on? I gotta go though. I do gotta
The
go.
love language, wasn't that it?
I gotta go.
Yeah,
There
know
we go.
your
It's time
know
to
your
go.
love language, y'all. So we know. Just know it, so it helps with the relationship. I agree.
It does. It does.
That's it. This is where we at right here.
Stressed out. I need a cigarette and a shot of
Email
whiskey after this show. I
This
need a
email address.
cigarette.
You got any other questions? And
And
if
shot of
anybody's
whiskey.
interested in dating Zondra, if
See,
you
I
email
knew
her
that
and you
was
let her
coming.
know, she will fund your blue pills. She
She
will
will.
fund
She
them. She said if you let her know, you ain't never gotta buy another one.
Not one blue pill.
I just
Sure.
want to be spontaneous,
That you
and I
are
just want to.
fully
I don't
gonna-
want to feel rejected.
She's gonna
but
buy
I-
that.
That's spontaneous when you stuffing a pill down his throat. It ain't spontaneous no more. Open up! Open up! Open up! Bye! I'm gone. I gotta go. I'm bye.
I feel so disrespected. Oh my God. I bet you any amount of money the women will want to know that. And this is a divide between the women and the men. I believe that it should come up. That's my final say.
Look,
And
just vitamin D. Take whatever supplement. You don't have to get the little blue pill. Trust me when I say it. Vitamin D will
we can
keep you in
exercise
shape.
and diet. Your diet and exercise.
It's your diet and exercise. I'm
I
telling
agree
you.
with that. That's
Yeah.
my first part. But he has to be open and honest with me, just like I need to be open and honest with him.
I need you to sign off. We got.
We got a minute. All right, y'all. I really do need a cigarette, and I don't even smoke, and I don't drink. I need a shot of whiskey. But anyway, if you want to be a part of our show, please email me at zondraswilson@yahoo.com. Fill out the query form, which is in our information section, in the information section on our YouTube channel for Butterflies Entertainment. If you want to come on our show, please, with a live message in a bottle. I promise you, I won't let them beat up on you. Y'all, you know I got y'all back. So come on, we'll bring you on. We'll answer your questions live. Answer anything that you may want to ask us. If you have some questions, just in general, we would love to bring you on. If you have relationship issues, you want to come on, we would love to bring you on. So again, that's Zondra, S as in Sam Wilson @yahoo.com. And until next week.
See y'all. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.